Hello, welcome back to economics. And this time we will be discussing the law of supply. So, after the law of demand, with what we discussed in the previous video, we will be discussing the law of supply. And what is the law of supply? What is supply? So, there's a supply curve and the supply schedule. Again, like the demand. The law of demand, supply centers on the relationship, or it anchors on the relationship between the price and the quantity supplied. So if the law of demand is the relationship between the price and the quantity demanded, the law of supply is a relationship between the price and the quantity supplied. So if there is a demand curve, we also have a supply curve, which is also a graph. If there is a demand schedule, we also have a supply schedule, which is the table. So let's go ahead and check what is supply. Supply is the willingness of sellers to produce and sell a good at various possible prices. So the price and the quantity supplied have a direct relationship. So compared to the demand uh, law, the price and where the price and the quantity have inverse relationship, in the supply or the law of supply, the price and the quantity supplied have a direct relationship, meaning sa may direct relationship kung asa padulong ang isa. So if the price increases, the quantity supplied also increases. If the price decreases, the quantity supplied also decreases. So that is the direct relationship. This means that if the price of quantity supplied is high, the quantity supplied that the seller is willing to sell is also high. So that is the law of supply, given again, given that other factors are constant, or the ceteris paribus that we discussed in the first chapter. So the supply curve and the supply schedule, just like in demand, show the relationship between a goods price and quantity supplied. However, since quantity supplied is directly proportional or have a direct relationship to the price, the supply curve is represented by an upward slope, which is this one. So this is an upward, di ba? The demand is the downward slope, but the supply is an upward slope. So this is a supply curve, and this is a supply schedule. So in this table, table 2.2, the supply schedule of bread um, shows that when the bread is free, meaning the price is zero, no seller or producer will produce, di ba? Kay ngano mo produce man ko if free man ang bread. Nya naman ko'y puhunan nya dili ko mo makakita, di ba? So, but if the price goes up, so nahimo siyang 1, 2, 3, 4, you will also notice that the quantity supplied for the bread also increases from 10, 20, 30, and 40. So ano siya. So using the the same concept, pag-plot na to, this will always be where your price is. This side here. And this is your quantity. Zero always starts here. Here's a zero. And for the price, from zero goes up. And zero here in the quantity goes to the right. Okay, so if the price is zero, quantity supplied is zero. If the price is one, quantity supplied is 10. If the price is two, quantity supplied is 20. If the price is three, quantity supplied is 30. If the price is four, the quantity supplied is 40. So that's it. The same concept with how we come up with the graph of the demand. So same with demand, we will also graph, or we will also take or get the slope of the supply curve. Kung saan man pagkuha sa slope, same formula. Same formula with the demand. The rise overrun the change in Y over the change in X, the change in price over the change in quantity, or price 2 minus price 1, Q2 minus Q1. So where P1 is price 1, Q1 is the quantity supplied, and the P2 is the second price, and the Q2 is the second quantity. And this symbol is a symbol of change. Okay, so let's take, for example, this same graph. So we have A, B, C, D, E points. So given this table or this graph, using points A and B, we are going to compute for the slope. So again, the slope is P2 minus P1. So this is from A, B. This is your P1, this is your P2. So P2 is 1 minus P1 is 0 is equal to 1 over quantity Q2 minus Q1, 10 minus 0 equals 10. So that is a positive 1 over 10 or zero point 0.1. Okay, that this is now the slope of your supply curve, right? So this is positive because there is a direct relationship between the price and the quantity. uh, Not unlike the demand where negative ang imong answer because there is an inverse relationship, no inverse. Pag mutaas ang price, muubos ang quantity. Pag mutaas ang pag muubos ang price, mutaas ang quantity. So, but in the supply, if the price, kung asa padulong ang price, adto pod padulong ang quantity supplied. So, if the price increases, the quantity supplied also increases. That is why positive ang atong answer diriya. Okay? So, let's talk about the shift in the supply curve. Nganong naa may shift? So, same with the demand curve na ay mga shift to the left and the right, and there were four factors nga atong gidiscuss. Sa man to, increase in income, increase in population, change in preferences and taste, and also speculation. Now, in the supply, there are also shifters, four shifters of the supply curve. So, we have uh, number one shifter is the change in the number of sellers. Okay, so this means that if there are many sellers who are willing to produce, more output will be available in the market. So similarly, given a fixed price of commodity, if few sellers are willing to participate in the production process, the supply decreases. So kay daghan mag seller, meaning daghan ang supply nga mahimo, kay daghan may mahimo. If gamay ang seller, so gamay ra ang supply nga ma-produce, right? Shift from the left to the right. Another shifter is the change of cost in production. Ang sa manang cost in production, that is the puhunan, gasto nimo to produce the product. So uh, given that limited capital of resources, when the cost of producing the product, the output will consequently decrease. Kay pamahal man imong puhunan, pag gamay po ng imong ma-produce. Kay magamay man ang gamay naman lang mapalit nimong anang raw material, right? So that is another factor. The third factor is the changes in technology. So, the utilization of machinery and other equipment leads to a faster way of producing goods, thus yielding higher output. Okay, so if there's an advancement in the technology, therefore, ma makaproduce po og higher output with using the new technology. Another factor is changes in government policies. So, different government policies affect changes in supply. If, for instance, the government encourages small businessmen to set up bakeries, the size of the bread industry will increase. Okay, so marag similar gihapon siya sa number one, changes in the number of sellers. So, naman goy time that the government will encourage no nga mag-put up mog daghan bakery dahay o mag-put up mog mga small medium enterprises, right? Or mag-put up mog daghan co-op. Pag naay mga ng intervention, so therefore modako ang iyang market, meaning pag modako ang market, modaghan ang supply. Okay? So for example, krisis sa bugas, natay krisis sa bugas. So unsay pwedeng himuong intervention sa gobyerno? Iyang himuong intervention is tagaan yung daghang puhunan ang mga magsasaka para makaproduce sila og daghan. Ana siya, di ba? So those are napoy times nga sobra na pod, no? Nag-oversupply na pud ka. So unsa puy buhaton sa gobyerno? Pwede siyang mo-intervene by limiting, no, limiting the mga business na i-divert sa lain. Okay? So mo na siya. So those are the changes or the shifters in the supply. So again, the shift is again from the left to the right or the right to the left. From left to the right meaning ni increase, from right to left meaning ni decrease. Okay? So I hope that's clear, and see you again on the next video for the market equilibrium.